For my next argument, I will be using Nozick's premises. Individuals have rights, and there are things no person or group may do to them without violating these rights. Natural rights are rights that people are born with under natural law. Natural law is a body of unchanging moral principles regarded as a basis for all human conduct. According to Nozick, to strip away a person's natural rights would be committing a morally impermissible act. Actions that would count as stripping away natural rights would be assault, theft, enslavement, murder, etc. Assault is defined as to physically attack. Theft is defined as the action of crime of stealing. Enslavement is defined as the action of making someone a slave, otherwise known as subjugation. Murder is defined as the unlawful, premeditated killing of one human being by another. According to Nozick, we own ourselves and therefore have the right to decide what we do to ourselves as well as the fruits of our labors. People may not be sacrificed or used for the achieving of other ends without their consent. Nozick writes, individuals are inviolable. Organ transplantation, or organ donation, is the process of surgically removing an organ or tissue from one person, the organ donor, and placing it into another person, the recipient. Transplantation is necessary because the recipient's organ has failed or has been damaged by disease or injury. An organ donor is the person or being from which an organ or organs are being taken for organ transplantation. A viable organ donor is a donor that is alive and all of their main organs are intact and they have the ability to continue having a life worth living. A non-viable organ donor is one who is dead, dying, or one who can no longer live as a person. Organ transplantation in cases where the donor is non-viable and unconsenting is an ethical issue because not all people agree that it is an ethical procedure to perform. Based on Nozick's premises, organ transplantation in cases where the donor is non-viable and unconsenting is a morally impermissible act. Taking a person's organs without their prior consent, even when the person is no longer capable of life, goes against premise number 4. If they have not consented to having their organs donated, they are not deciding what to do with their own bodies. Premise number 5 also shows that according to Nozick, organ transplantation in cases where the donor is non-viable and unconsenting is morally impermissible because people may not be sacrificed or used for the achieving of other ends without their consent.